Kay Felder was the leading assist man and a top 5 scorer in college in 2016. He was a mix between Isaiah Thomas and Nate Robinson. The athleticism, the jumper, the passing, he had it. The only knock was the height at 5'9". I just knew he was going to be the next small guard to flourish when he got to the league, but he hasn't been in the NBA since 2018. Let's dive into what happened to Kay Felder. Kay Felder is a 5'9" point guard out of Detroit, Michigan. In high school, you wouldn't have been able to find Felder's name all the way back in 2013 when he was a high school senior. Many scouting services didn't rake him coming out of Pershing High School, even though he was a local Detroit MVP in his senior year. His senior year, he finished 4th for Michigan Mr. Basketball and won 3 city championships during his time at Pershing. Even though he wasn't heavily recruited by high major schools, he was noticed and offered by Oakland as a sophomore, and he committed to them prior to his senior season. He ended up having offers from other mid-major programs like Akron, Southern Illinois, and St. Bonaventure, but stuck with Oakland because of their loyalty and the fact that he could play right away as a freshman. He went into Oakland with a chip on his shoulder, not only because he was slighted because of his height, but he also wanted to follow in the steps of some other greats who came out of Detroit. In his freshman season at Oakland, he was given the keys and didn't look back. He finished his freshman year as the Horizon League Freshman of the Year, averaging almost 10 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 6.4 assists, which was 7th in the NCAA. In his sophomore year, he took it to another level, averaging 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 7.6 assists, which was number 2 in assists for the 2014-15 season. He was a mid-major All-American, Horizon League First Team, and a finalist for Mid-Major Player of the Year. And this would be the season he started to garner recognition for draft scouts, but they wanted to see if he could take it to another level to be drafted. And he would do that. His junior season, he averaged 24 points, which was top 5 in the NCAA. He led the nation with 9 assists a game, and he added 2 steals on 44% shooting and 35% from the 3. During the season, the first game I noticed him was the Michigan State game. He was hitting all the big shots against the #1 team at the time, showing off the jumper, the athleticism, and he was good at stepping into passing lanes, and he finished with 37 points and 9 assists. He finished the season with a number of accolades. He was 3rd team All-American, Horizon League Player of the Year, and was a finalist for National Player of the Year and Point Guard of the Year. He was fully on scouts' radars after the season, and he was viewed as somebody who could be a spark plug for a team when he got into the league. Scouts loved his big-time performances against high-major competition. They loved his improved shooting efficiency over the years and his special athleticism, with the biggest knock being his height as always and being a liability on defense. So Felder would declare for the NBA draft after the season. During the NBA draft combine, Felder tied Pat Connaughton for the 2nd highest vertical recorded in draft history at 44 inches, showing off that special athleticism most seen at Oakland. But even though he had a monster combine performance, he was still projected to be a 2nd round pick. Felder ended up being selected by the Atlanta Hawks with the 54th overall pick and was traded to the defending champion Cavaliers on draft night, and he would end up signing a 3-year deal with the Cavs before the season. He played sparingly with the Cavs in his first year, and he was coming into a situation where everything was in place and little opportunity was given in Cleveland. He did show sparks of flashes, scoring 14 points in 23 minutes with Kyrie resting, but most of his time was spent in the G League playing for the Canton Charge. He was traded before his 2nd season to the Atlanta Hawks and then immediately waived, before being claimed by the Chicago Bulls. His situation with the Bulls was much of the same as the Cavs, no opportunity really given, and he was eventually waived, and he was picked up and signed to a 2-way contract by the Detroit Pistons midway through the season. Felder was signed by the Raptors in August of 2018, only to get waived a few months later after averaging 18 points and 6 assists in the G League for the Raptors. But it wasn't his actions on the court that caused him to be released. It was the off the court that sealed his fate. Felder was charged by police in connection with the case of domestic violence, which had an immediate effect in the 905 Raptors releasing and the G League placing him on indefinite leave. A few months after being released, Felder moved on to play in the CBA. He signed in March of 2019 and has been there ever since. Once in China, he started to find his professional footing with the Flying Tigers. He averaged 23 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals for the 2018-19 season, and the next season he would average 18, 8, 5, and 2 in 22 games, being one of the most premier guards in that league. To me, Felder is an interesting case of how the NBA can eat you up and spit you out, and why the lifespan of an average NBA player is so short. Even though his size was what it was and he had an off-the-court issue, he didn't really get the opportunity you would like to see some players get. Getting drafted to a loaded Cavs team and then bouncing around the league after that leaves much to be desired, especially from a college All-American. But it does leave an opportunity for Felder to return to the NBA. Seeing more and more smaller guards flourish in the NBA, I've been seeing reports that he wants to make an NBA comeback, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him back in the league sometime soon. He still has all the tools that got him drafted, plus the overseas experience, and I think he could be a scoring spark plug immediately for a team, especially in a situation like Detroit, who needs point guard depth. I just want to thank you guys for watching. If you got to the end, I really rock with you. Definitely hit that like and subscribe button if this is your first time on the channel. And definitely let me know who you would like to see next. And I'm out. Peace.